So I want to talk a little bit about why I started the Product Career Accelerator in the first place. I worked at Google as a group PM for 4.5 years, and I've worked in other PM organizations, mid-sized companies, smaller companies. So I experienced a lot of different like IC and management roles in the product world and around different industries. The whole time, it felt like there was really no one to talk to as a PM. You can talk to your manager, sure, but there's some things you're not going to talk to your manager about. Same deal with your coworkers, same deal with your buddy who's very good at product or maybe is a startup person, but you can't really bother them all the time. And you can sort of check in a little bit, but it's either not enough time, not enough quality. People don't understand the context of what you're going through. Your spouse or partner does not want to listen to your nonsense after you spend, 50, 60 hours of work. They don't want to hear about how you don't know how to move your career. You don't know how to get things done. You don't know how to get through this product review. How do you get your VP to take any action, for God's sakes? But I digress. It always felt like there is really no one to even get a second opinion about. There's a lot of folks out there that are talking about product, including me. You should do this and you should do that. Here's best practices for this. Here's how to write a PRD. Here's how to align stakeholders. Here's how to get into your next role. There's a lot of stuff out there, but actually having somebody that is in your corner just doesn't exist. Even if you're getting paid 500, 700,000, $1 million a year, you're still kind of left to figure it out on your own. And you might be thinking, but you're making 700,000, you're in good shape, right? Not really. You could be in not great shape from a mental perspective. There's a ton of burnout. There's a ton of mental fatigue in general. I've got friends of mine that have been trying to quit and have an email that they write to their manager where it says, "I quit. Thank you very much. I'm out of here." And then every Friday it's scheduled to send out. And then every Thursday they come in and push it to the next week. That's a real story. Like that stuff happens. So maybe that's more about like the product management in big tech post of its own. Maybe that deserves its own video, product management in big tech. I'll talk about that. I've been critical of that in the past. But the purpose of this discussion is just to tell you that I felt like product managers are very high paid. They could easily make 500, 700,000, even $1 million a year is not out of the ordinary in the Bay Area, for instance, for product managers in big tech. So they make as much money as top athletes. They work extremely hard. They're very impactful. So kind of like athletes, to continue my analogy, their work is seen and engaged with by a lot of people. And in fact, that's why they can make as much as they can, because of the extreme leverage. If they launch to 1 million users or to 10 million or 100 million users, then the leverage is extreme. You've got one person working on a piece of software that can be leveraged and used by a lot of other people. So there's a lot of parallels between elite athletes and product managers in big top tech companies. But there's no support network of any kind. So that's fundamentally why I created the accelerators. I wanted it to be the place where proactive, experienced, high-level PMs can come in and get a sanity check on their promotion path, on their career progression, whether they should switch jobs and look for a new job, on whether they should switch teams, on interviewing at a new role or offer negotiation, which are all very complex topics. They require partnership, not just coaching, but partnership, accountability over a long period of time. So this was my attempt to create this. Now, when we launched PCA, Product Career Accelerator, a couple of years ago, we started out on this path, but it quickly became obvious that people really need the most help with landing their next role. So that's what we focused on. So inside PCA today, primarily we focus on landing your next role. And after you've landed, then we set you up with new job success. Right now, I meet with many PCA alumni just as a continuing program where I will just help them on board to the new role, make sure they're successful, make sure they've got the right performance trajectory, make sure they establish themselves quickly, make sure they know what they're actually optimizing for. Because, when you start a new job, you're just excited, you go and deliver, and then a year later you look back, you realize your career progression has not happened at all. You've delivered some stuff, but you haven't actually moved your career forward. So now I'm starting to work on that, but really the bulk of the work inside PCA is helping you land your next job, which means support with everything from applications, resume customization, LinkedIn optimization, networking, referrals, and of course, heavy amount of behavioral prep and interview preparation and evaluation and understanding your gaps, plugging your gaps. So that's where we spend probably 80% of the time. And then slowly the original mission of PCA, which is to support experienced, proactive product managers that want to have a fulfilling and financially and personally rewarding product career, we want to support them all along their career, along 10, 20 years, however long it takes. We have a very, very big mission around here. I don't really talk about it too much because we're focused on practical problems, getting you your next role. But after we get you that role, we are going to continue supporting you. And a lot of PCA alumni tell me about how meaningful and how big that is for their jobs and their lives to have somebody in their corner, to have a whole team of coaches and experts in their corner. So that's a little bit about why we started PCA and where we are now. If you have any additional questions or you want to know anything about our philosophy or the way that we do things, please just stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be talking about a lot more of this stuff. In fact, this whole studio is set up by our new creative director, Brian. If you want to email him, honestly, it's Brian, Bryan, at alexrychevsky.com. Or you could just DM me on Instagram with any questions you have, any topics you want covered, any additional questions you have on PCA, really anything else. And we'll throw up a video on it because now it's easy to create these videos thanks to Brian. Shout out, Brian. We appreciate you. All right, folks, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.